So the talk of the NBA as of late has been the idea of the Los Angeles Lakers benching their rookie point guard Lonzo Ball in exchange for Jordan Clarkson, who's honestly been finishing up the majority of games anyway, as Lonzo Ball does see himself being benched a lot in the fourth quarter. So I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on this. Do you think the Los Angeles Lakers should actually bench Lonzo Ball? And I want to give you guys a bit of my opinion about the negative effects that this would actually have on the rookie point guard. So first and foremost, let's talk about his stats a little bit. He's shooting a poor 23% from 3 on the season, so he's actually averaging about 5 attempts per game and making like 1.1 of them, or whatever the bitch ass math is right there. You also look at his 2-point percentage. He's shooting about 36% from 2, which estimates to be about 35% total field goal percentage on the season. So what I honestly think Lonzo Ball needs to do is he needs to just plain and simple stop shooting the three-pointer. I'm not saying he has to do that for the rest of his career, but until he gets the fundamentals down of, getting to the basket, finishing his layups, making his mid-range shots, that's going to open up the three-point game for him a lot. I see a lot of time with Lonzo Ball, he kind of gets that, like that Stephen Curry swagger going, where he's just like, yeah, man, I'm going to pull this from deep, and I'm going to make it, and you're just not really quite there yet. It takes a few seasons to develop that confidence and really just the ability to finish shots like that in the first place. But you look at the rest of his stats, he is averaging 7 assists per game, which I think is fantastic for a rookie point guard. He's averaging about, 2-3 turnovers, which isn't great, but like I said, I mean, rookies are going to make mistakes anyway, so it's not like the end of the world. It's not like he's averaging like 10 turnovers or something like that. He's also getting about 6-7 rebounds per game too, which is nice. He's getting steals out there, nearly a block a game, which is great for being a 6'5" height. But I think what the Lakers really need to focus on here, guys, or really Lonzo Ball in general, and in the game plan, is just stop having him shoot threes. I want to compare him to some other point guards, okay? So I'm not saying that he's this player by any stretch of the imagination, but Magic Johnson, who actually wanted to draft Lonzo Ball, Magic Johnson, if you look at his career stats, he was not a great three-point shooter. He killed the game with his passing vision, which Lonzo Ball has, and his height, which compared, in comparison, yes, Magic Johnson was like 6'9", 6'10", could play multiple positions, but Lonzo Ball was like 6'5", 6'6". I know he's got even a greater wingspan than that. So it's like he's got the height over the majority of NBA point guards, and he's got the vision out there, which we've already proved with his assists on the season. So it's like Magic Johnson did not need the three ball out there. You look at Jason Kidd, I know that's another big comparison. Jason Kidd said that Lonzo Ball's not even close to being him yet. I agree. I mean, Jason Kidd was an all-time great point guard. It's going to take Lonzo Ball many years to get there. But Jason Kidd did not really add the three-point shot until later down the road of his career, where he was no longer as athletic. Not saying Jason Kidd was ever extremely athletic, but Jason Kidd always focused on getting players involved, getting to the basket, the mid-range game, things like that. That was his strength. So once that left him in his older age, that's when he added the three ball. That's when he's like, okay, let me get away from those strengths, or of my new weaknesses, things that I can no longer do, and let me get a new strength. I mean, it's the same thing with guys like Kobe Bryant adding the fadeaway later on in his career, stuff like that. Another player that I think Lonzo Ball definitely could put up stat-wise is Rajon Rondo. Like Rajon Rondo, I'm talking like headband Rondo on the Celtics, not this new Rondo that's just kind of like okay. But no, man, Rondo never needed the three ball. Yes, he had a whole bunch of like superstars around him, and Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, and the Lakers don't quite have that yet, which makes things a lot easier. But still, man, it's like just stat-wise, like Rondo did not need that three ball to put up crazy triple doubles like he did. I mean, Rondo's had some fantastic, games stat-wise, going back to his Boston Celtics days. But also another thing I think we really need to talk about here, guys, is just the pressure of starting a 19-year-old anyway. I mean, not everybody is LeBron James. Not everybody is going to walk into the NBA and just be dominant right away. And I feel like those are the standards we now hold to all these rookies. We expect them to come on their respected team and just take over right away, man. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is another good example of a player that really just started dominating right away. And it's like some players just take time. I mean, the NBA pacing is so much different from college or high school or really any form of basketball these guys ever played. I mean, we look at what's going on the basketball court. We don't even focus, the stuff that's going, like the practices and the grind of traveling and all that stuff. Like all that stuff takes time to get used to. And it doesn't help that, Lonzo's got LeVar Ball for a father. I'm not saying he is a bad father. I mean, he's probably been a great father to his kids. I mean, he's really helped them maximize their potential and help them achieve their dreams. But what I don't like about LeVar Ball, of course, is the pressure he puts on his own sons. Like, yeah, Lonzo's going to do this, Lonzo's going to do that. And it pisses off other NBA players. I mean, it's plain and simple, it does, which it puts a target on Lonzo Ball with all these NBA players like, yeah, man, we're going to shut you down this game. Where it's like, if LeVar just stopped doing that, players would just treat Lonzo like a normal player and not like he's already some NBA superstar that his father makes him out to be. And it's like, he might get there someday, but let the man, learn the game first and learn the pacing of the game and everything. Just kind of quit putting all this extra pressure on him. You know what I'm saying? And I think another important thing, guys, and this is something that I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with and everything, and it comes down to the whole one and done rule in college. But I actually love the idea of when an NBA player is drafted. And like I said, I know you guys are totally going to disagree with me on this, but I like the idea of a player having to sit out a full NBA season and just getting used to, you know, the training facility, getting used to, you know, playing in practices and traveling, all that stuff. Like they should still go through all the reps of an NBA player, but they should work, you know, on adding weight to everything like that. You know, guys like Brandon Ingram, who first came to the NBA, that dude was like 33 pounds. And now look at him. Now he's been working out for a few seasons. He's got his NBA body. He's been dominating. Lonzo Ball, you know, he is athletically gifted, let's be honest about that, but there's still so much more potential with him to add from strength training into conditioning, everything like that. That would just help his confidence and help him be able to, you know, get a shot off against some of these larger NBA defenders and, you know, some of these guys that have been playing defense for many, many years and just know how to stop an NBA player, how to game plan for him. I mean, the great example of this is another player that Lonzo Ball was being compared to in the rookie race, and that is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, coming out of college, of course, he got injured, so he had to take a full year off, but he was still in the NBA, man. He was still doing things out there outside of playing basketball, and now we see him a year later. He's got more muscle on him. He just looks so much more NBA ready, and he just looks so comfortable. It's one thing about Ben Simmons is he looks comfortable, and at times, Lonzo Ball does not. Lonzo Ball looks like he's still kind of learning things out there, which is fine, because he didn't have that, you know, that whole season to prepare for things. Another guy you look at is Joel Embiid. I think Embiid went to Kansas, I believe, right? So out of college, I was like, okay, Joel Embiid's got the footwork and everything. At that time, you know, he was still 7 foot and everything, but he didn't have as much muscle on. Now it's been like, well, like 2-3 seasons he's actually been in the NBA, and he's finally healthy and everything, and he just looks like a totally different dude. Like, he looks freaking tough as heck, guys. And that's just, you know, from the 2 or 3, I think it was 2 seasons of just developing with, you know, having an NBA diet plan and all that stuff like that, man. So, I don't know. I feel like some of these guys get rushed into situations too quickly, where in reality, maybe a guy like gets an injury like a Ben Simmons or a Joel Embiid was actually a blessing in disguise, because it allowed them to develop as players before they actually had to play an NBA game. That's just my opinions on that, though, guys. And I think Lonzo Ball will be fine. Like I said, I think the big part of him, it just comes down to LeVar Ball and all the pressure that he puts on his son and everything, and really the expectations that his dad wants him to live up to, you know, to expand the big baller brand. But it's also the expectations we put on rookies in general, saying, hey, man, this guy has to come on this team and turn them around right away. I know Laker fans out there, they're definitely craving that winning style of basketball. They miss Kobe Bryant, you know, they miss guys like that on their team there, so they're craving it, man. So the pressure definitely amounts for him to be great. I think it will come in time. Let's talk about this for a quick second, guys. In 10 freaking years, a full decade, this man's only going to be like 29, 30 years of age. He's young as hell right now, guys, so he'll be fine. I'm not coming off as a big, like, oh, man, like Lonzo Ball man, but it's just like any player in general. Frank Ntilikina just had a game where he had like 6 steals against the Cavs, playing amazing defense. He's only like, what, 18, 19 himself. It's like he's already showing signs that he can be a good NBA player. He's not going to be dominant every single game. It's going to take a few years. Lonzo Ball has shown signs of being a great NBA player. He's not going to do it every single game. It's going to take a few years, man. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below. Do you think the Lakers should bench Lonzo Ball? I do think that the negative effect it will have on him in general, though, is it will simply just absolutely kill this man's confidence. It will show that they do not believe in him, unless Luke Walton or Magic Johnson pulls him and be like, you know, man, we're not benching you because you're playing bad. We're benching you because we want to work on developing you more. Because, like I said, man, you can bench a player, but if you do it for the wrong reason, it's going to kill a man's confidence. And at the end of the day, man, you don't want to do that, especially to the future point guard of your NBA team.